Hello everyone, my name is Mariusz and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you how I get my code done, which tools do I use and what hardware do I use. I do enjoy this kind of content and I will also gladly share my own experience. So first of all, what hardware do I use? I'm using an M1 MacBook Pro with 16GB of RAM and 1TB SSD. To be honest, this laptop has never let me down. It's a real pleasure to work on, with all-day battery life. Code compilation is fast and I can easily work on a web front-end, back-end and mobile development at the same time without experiencing any slowdowns. As for monitor, I use ultrawide as I don't like to 16:9 monitors side by side. This kind of work always felt not right for me and switching for ultrawide was a way to go. But I know it's not for everybody. Lately I started also using my iPad with sidecar as a small monitor to run music or to browse the documentation for a feature I'm developing. It's really nicely done and kinda naturally blends with my normal workflow. Recently I bought AirPods 4 with ANC and I gotta admit that for the office work or when I'm working from crowded place or even at home, it's really a game changer. Being able to cut out the background noise and concentrate more on a task at hand has been really great. That's about hardware. What about software? I would say that for me the most important idea is that tools should improve your work, not hinder it. If something is not working for me, not important how fancy it might be or how other people price it, I won't be using it. I also have some reservations for using NI in my day-to-day work, but I don't want to also be left behind the current tech train, which is AI. So I did incorporate it into my flow of work and I'm testing how useful it is. Let's get into today's topic. Depending on what I'm coding, I use different set of tools. So let's see the typical workflow for me. As a front-end dev, I use Visual Studio Code, which has been really great for me. To be honest, I discovered its potential when I'm done game dev. I found it quick and easy to use, quickly jumping between IDE and VS. Since Atom was sunsetted, I've been experimenting with different editors. Atom used to be my go-to editor for web development, but since 2022, I've been searching for a replacement. VS Code has the right balance of features and flexibility, with a great selection of extensions. I can recommend few of them, like npm IntelliSense for auto-completing npm modules in import statements. It makes adding dependencies simple, and as a solo developer can quickly see gains in speed. Another extension will be Copilot. It's free for VS Code and makes working with code a lot easier. It can write, suggest changes, create similar code to which you've already wrote, can move this code to files and really save you a lot of time. It's not perfect and can make some mistakes, so be always cautious on just using code generated this way without supervision. I always check what it gives me, as it can create code which looks okay, but when reading deeper you can easily spot mistakes. I also write my backend code purely in VS Code now. I love how quickly I can set up new environments, deploy instances, and expose endpoints for my web or mobile applications, and how VS Code works perfectly for my use case. All above mentioned perks of web development work the same with backend development. I use Node-daemon.js for making sure instances of my service restarts when anything in code changes, so it makes me really fast at iterating through my changes. I can really recommend using it over vanilla Node. You don't need to manually restart anything. Another great tool to make your life better when working on backend and frontend together is Browser Sync. It listens for any changes in the HTML, CSS or JS code and reloads the browser, You instantly see your change without needing to reload anything manually. It also keeps it synced between mobile and desktop browser, so we can check changes for both at the same time. Being on topic of backend and frontend development, I can't really stress enough how much I depend on two additional tools, Proxyman and Postman. I'm using Proxyman to listen to all the traffic and check what is being sent from my clients to my services and what I get from it as a response. I can easily mock and set breakpoints, which made it super easy to detect issues and fix them quickly. To be able to test my services before I get my front-end work done, I used Postman to make queries and validate my responses. That part of work cannot be underestimated, as good balance of preparation and quickness gets you very far ahead of other developers who struggle with simplest issues. For mobile work, I use Xcode. It had its better or worse days, but currently it matured enough to be capable of doing almost anything I throw at it. I have my own set of automations, like creating files from templates or customized shortcuts. Recently, I have been given a license for Copilot to use it in Xcode, and it's working great. Xcode has been a standard for many people working on iOS or Mac development, and I'm really seeing that Apple continues to improve on this tool. Okay, I hope this inside look on set of my tools has been interesting for you, and maybe you did found something new to try out. See you in the next video. Bye for now.